What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. As you can see, this time below me, we got Matthew back again for another episode. And to the left of me, we got two-time All-American from Illinois, Lucas Byrd. Lucas, welcome to the podcast. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Doing good, doing good. I
Hold on,
mean,
I'm gonna put this up.
oh, go for it, go for it. No
They
problem.
chew through it.
No problem, man. Lucas is putting his beef jerky away right real quick. Gotta watch out for his cats.
Nacho.
It's one
No,
of them.
there's the cats. Cats are making the guest experience. But now, Lucas, welcome to the show. Obviously, like I said, two-time All-American. Really just got 2 more years left as well. Your career is nothing but going in the right direction. Talk a little bit about this season. Talk a little bit about Illinois. What's Illinois looking like this year?
I mean, we're looking good. Oh, we're always looking good. It's obviously when the time of a tournament comes, it depends on who peaks, and it's really dependent on who has a good day. So sometimes the ball bounces your way, sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Uh, but we got a lot of good things coming. We got a new facility coming. Uh, Coaching staffs obviously Ed Ruth, Jeremy Hunter, Mike Putta, Isaiah Martinez. Like, we got a really
Stacked,
great coach and
stacked,
really
stacked, stacked, stacked coaching
like it's
staff.
it's a great coaching staff. So it's something to really be fun to be a part of and to be in a room with the level of those guys and the caliber that they have just to learn from them is wild.
I'm
Mhm.
sure even just having like Isaiah Martinez there, just like someone who's been there and
Yeah.
just has been at the top and you just learn
Yeah.
from him, and that's probably an amazing experience
And
right there.
and it's so like the way they think about situations. Like you really like when people talk about like freshmen coming into college and they're like there's that adjusting period. When you have a coach like that or Ed, it's very like this is how they deal with situations. Like this is how they would react and you're like I would react totally different, but I
Hmm.
really understand this is why you react this way.
No, man, definitely. I mean, just even Ed Ruth, Penn State legend, and I know
Yeah.
Edmund Ruth is there now, and he's
Yeah,
shaping his career up to be, at the same caliber.
yeah, he's
Um,
gonna be good.
Talk a little bit about high school. I know, like you said, you're an Ohio boy, so talk a little bit about wrestling in high school.
Went
How you
to
got
I
started?
went to LaSalle. Talk on, how I got started was I just kind of had to. Like it wasn't I was too physical for other sports and my brother wrestled, my dad, my uncles wrestled, and it was kind of like, all right, you're gonna wrestle. So kind of started out wrestling and then as I got older, me and my brother went to the same high school. Excuse me, and I was like, I just want to be better than him. Like that's it. That's it. I just want to be better than him. I want to do everything that he like didn't do. So high school, seventh my freshman year. He got seventh his freshman year. I think he got sixth his sophomore year. I got third. I was like, I'm already beating you there. And then we both made the state finals junior, senior year. Unfortunately for him, he wrestled Georgie D. Camilla and Dean Heil, both of
Mm.
his times in the final. And then uh, when I wrestled, I won both of mine. So I was like, yeah, like top dog in the little wrestling family that we had. And and then I was committed to Maryland and still, wrestling well in high school, having fun with it, trying to figure out where I wanted my style to be, how I wanted to wrestle. Because I had that Greco background and I didn't know if it was like, I want to be somebody who's really like uses upper body or if I want to be somebody that shoots. And I think now in college, I think I do well of using both. I think I could do a little better, but I think I do a good job of using both. And then, decommitting from Maryland when they changed coaching staffs and, getting the opportunity to come to Illinois.
That's
Definitely. And,
awesome.
I think, I hope that one day we get to see you use that Greco background because the United States is just
Yeah.
it's really lacking in Greco. I
Yeah.
know like Colton and Braxton Amos and they're really trying to keep, the USA in the Greco scene. But
Yeah.
it's tough, man. It is. And I know I'm assuming your weight class, we do have um I think Norway or Max Norway, I think his name is. He's ranked at
Oh, Nowry at
Nowry,
55.
yeah, 55,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he's NRRTC.
Hmm.
Wrestles through Army, but he's with the Illinois Regional Training Center. And, whenever he gets out here, it's always a pleasure to, train with him. It's
Hmm.
it's fun.
So do you see yourself making a switch to wrestle Greco, or do you think you'll just kind of stay folk style and then freestyle in the off season?
Well, I want to fight.
You
So
want to fight? Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
my plan is to wrestle in the Open coming up in April and wrestle Greco and kind of, make Final X, go to Final X, win Final X and make the world team. And kind of after I'm done with college, my plans to transition to fighting.
Awesome. So
Yeah, definitely.
that's big news. I didn't think that was coming. I
A
didn't think
lot of people
it
a
was coming
lot
out of
of
your
people
mouth. I'm
say
not gonna
that.
lie.
They're like there's no way like you want to fight. I'm like, yeah, like I've always wanted to fight.
So
Get on a nice UFC card, start
I've
scrapping.
it's always been like I see like the UFC fights. I'm like I'm gonna be there one day. Like Adesanya and whenever they
Lucas
fight,
Byrd is
like
the next Mighty Mouse.
I'm like
You heard it
I would
here.
love to train with him
Yeah.
because he
Hmm.
did a talking and he was like, yeah, he walks around at like 36 and
Hmm.
fights 35. I was like shit, I would love to get in the room with him, like just to learn,
I
like
think yeah, I think he would be, and I think maybe that's something you could definitely achieve. I mean, I think
yeah,
you he would be a great mentor for you, being that you guys are pretty much similar size, and he had a
Mhm.
crazy successful
yeah.
fight career in the
I
UFC,
mean,
and
he
I think in
still is.
Bellator.
He's in
He
Yeah,
still
Bellator. Yeah,
is
he's doing
fighting.
great.
Yeah.
Maybe this is my outlet to him. Maybe he'll see this. Be
yeah,
like,
Mighty
oh.
Mouse. If
Mighty
you see
Mouse,
this,
hit him
Because
Lucas
up.
Bird,
I would love to pick that guy's brain of like fighting and
even
everything.
just talk to him, like not even
Yeah,
train with him.
Even Henry Cejudo though,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
he's
So
fighting soon.
ironically about Cejudo, he was in. My brother was telling me he was in Cincinnati, and my brother, his college roommate, his name's Michael Blum. He got to like, cause he's a bigger guy. He got to like hand fight with Cejudo. Like Cejudo just kind of like doing some of these and like pulling on his head and stuff. My brother said he was like talking to his friend about it. Blum said it was the craziest experience he's ever had.
That's
I was
gonna
like,
be
that
you
would be
next, man.
crazy.
That's you and the Mighty Mouse. Where we heard it, you Mighty Mouse. Go hit up Lucas. I
I
mean,
mean,
I think
there's
that's crazy. And I think the pipeline, man, the
Yeah.
pipeline from wrestling to fighting. I know Meredith is putting on the gloves tonight, actually.
Yeah, he fights
yeah.
tonight. I
Yeah,
saw that.
tonight. So that's exciting for him. Obviously Pat Downey had his little Bellator
Uh,
stint, and
Even
oh
Ben
Nickel though.
Askren.
Nickel's doing really well.
yeah, bro,
Oh,
Nickel's career is
He just got
skyrocketing
he just
right
got
now.
put on another card.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
Can't
saw
think
he's
what I think
fighting
it's a
again,
handful.
and he just looks unstoppable. I mean, I'm sure,
Yeah.
his
besides
career
that
is
kick he threw, where he just a little
flip.
I
left
don't
him
think it's
out
a
a
kick.
little,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, he made
No.
fun of
but
himself, which is fine. Well,
Yeah,
we could say it. He posted about it. He
oh
posted
no,
a,
it was a rough
a,
kick.
a
But
reel
like
about it.
that's such a good thing about like wrestling and like fighting is like when guys can be like, "Oh yeah, like that kick was trash,"
Yeah.
and like laugh about it instead of being like, "Oh, like that kick sucked. I'm never kicking again."
No,
I mean,
I
and
think, and I
he's
think, and I think Bo really kind of made a statement with fighting where, like, his first couple fights, he didn't wrestle the guys. He
no,
Yeah,
just knocked them out.
I think that's something that like a lot of wrestlers like they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna wrestle this guy and I'm just gonna beat him up." But there's like when you if you want to like, in my opinion, I think if you want to really progress in fighting,
Striker, yeah.
you have to be able to strike and be on your feet.
Strike and submissions. I mean, yeah.
I
I
mean,
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, he's had a great success with jujitsu. I mean,
he
that in
submitted the
that
last guy.
yeah, in that first fight before his like UFC debut, he had a beautiful triangle. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it was great. Is that something you want to do? Like, you want to focus more on striking or like jujitsu?
So I like semi train jujitsu now. Like when I'm back home and stuff, my dad uh his like facility that he runs this club out is a jujitsu gym, so I get to roll with those guys.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
I've never like had a like a striking coach. I've worked with
Okay.
Ed about mitts before, but and that's like a consistent thing if you want to be good at striking. It's a
I
really
mean,
hard.
you can come to Jersey. My dad trains jujitsu and he does taekwondo and striking for 10th Planet, which is Eddie Bravo, Joe
Yeah,
Rogan, all that. Shout out to
yeah.
that planet. But yeah, I mean,
Make
they
a trip out to Jersey.
yeah, make a trip out to Jersey, train with my dad. But they got some high level strikers, high level jujitsu guys there for sure.
Yeah.
So if you want to get well rounded,
Oh
you
yeah,
got
I'd be
to
down.
do a little bit of all that.
Yeah.
yeah, man. I think, you're one of, I feel like this kind of time of wrestlers, this class, and I know like your graduating class and stuff. We've talked to a lot of them, and it seems
They're
like a
all
lot of them aren't really into the fight game as much as a lot
Yeah.
of kind of the older heads are.
yeah.
Do you think that's something that you're gonna try to expand and try to get more people that are wrestlers to get into fighting?
I think it's one of those things where like you really have to be committed from like a younger age. Like you have to
Mhm.
like
So
be
you
like
always wanted to fight since you were a
I
kid.
yeah, like I wanted to be a Navy SEAL, and then I was like, people were like, oh, like you're probably not gonna be big enough, and I'm like, we'll try it out, blah blah. And then I like saw Navy SEALs, I was like, they were big as hell. I was like, I am like too short and not big enough. So I was like, like fighting, it's perfect. 25, maybe if I get bigger, fight 35, but more than likely at 25, and mix it up, see what happens.
No, man,
Yeah,
that'll be
you
exciting.
have to love getting punched in the face,
Yeah, like you
or
have
like
to
not mind it at least.
yeah, you have to be like, oh, this is something I like want I see myself doing and like in the position of doing.
Lucas, what about becoming a professional slap fighter?
I've seen that shit's crazy. Oh, sorry. That
No,
that
oh no,
that
you're fine. You're good. You're
that's
good. You're good.
You
Let
can
us fly.
curse,
Let
man.
us fly. Yeah,
that's
you can
Doesn't
curse.
matter.
crazy. I saw that the other day and I like ended on like a loop on TikTok. It was like in the afternoon. I'm just like slap fighting. Click on it. Just slap. I'm like, what the hell is happening here?
Nah, there's nothing better than two people just lining up against each other and slapping
So
the shit out of each other.
I think that's worse than UFC. Like
I think so too.
if you're like, oh, I want to be slapped in the face. That's what I want to do. You're like,
I'd
Open
rather take
palm
a
slapped in
punch.
the
yeah,
face.
like you
Yeah.
I'd
have
rather take a
crazy.
punch than a slap
Yes.
any
And then, like
day.
when people knock those people out, I'm like, wow, you slap
That's an open
really
palm
it's an
slap.
open hall. I was like, whoa,
Like it's
that's,
crazy.
Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah, it is definitely rough.
nah, I think Dana White runs that too.
Yeah,
He
Dana,
does,
Dana
yeah.
White, man. Dana White does everything. I don't
He
think
does
there's
everything.
anything
He,
Dana
he's
White
so
doesn't.
good at he's good at promoter though.
Yeah,
So like Rogan too. Rogan's a good
Yeah,
like helper of the promoting.
I mean Rogan has his podcast, but Rogan
Yeah.
is so knowledgeable in so many things,
It's
and
crazy how knowledgeable he is and like what he talks about and the people he gets on his podcast.
mhm,
It's so interesting.
yeah, he
he's
has
had
the
some
most
interesting
range.
characters. Yeah,
Yeah.
from like JB to David Goggins to
Did he have
like
Elon Musk on?
Philanthropists.
yeah,
Didn't he have
Elon
Elon Musk?
Musk.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
Mhm.
got to be so hard to get Elon Musk on a podcast.
I feel like it's easier than you think.
I feel
I
like
would love to like wonder how that goes.
I mean, I feel like Elon Musk, it's more like you kind of just have to ask him, and if he seems kind of interested, be like,
Yeah,
sure. I feel like it's easier than getting a lot of celebrities that are like, oh my God, I'm so busy.
yeah.
Like,
well, like what
Elon's
is
more
Elon
like
Musk like? What's his day-to-day life nowadays? I feel like he
who
doesn't.
knows?
He's
that's
not
the thing.
really.
I feel like if he
What
did
does
like a
he do?
video, I feel like if he did a video like day in the life, I think it'd blow up. I think people would like I think people would go
Did you see he
crazy like
renamed his kid like recently? He like
Really?
yeah, like his kid like had some name and then they renamed. Did you also know he has 11 kids?
Yeah, I did
I
know
did know
that.
he had a crazy amount of
Like
kids.
I thought he only had like a couple, like three or four, and then I saw
No, but the last one, it was like that AE symbol,
It was
which
like
is
yeah, it was
pronounced
something weird.
Ash,
Yeah,
and then and then the rest of it was named after a plane
yeah,
yeah,
with the precursor to like the fastest plane ever or something.
yeah. Kind of
that's
I
wild
heard
though.
that.
crazy, like crazy, like that's like, and it's crazy because like I feel like that's what the future's gonna be like. Like he's
Yeah.
like I feel like he's ahead of us. Like everything he does is
Oh, he
like he's
probably
one
is. He's
step
probably
ahead.
out of a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel
He's
like
making
he's
flamethrowers.
those are cool. The Boring Company
Flamethrower.
flamethrowers, those are really cool.
Flamethrowers are dangerous and cool though.
Let's get Lucas Byrd a flamethrower. Somebody send him a
It'd be
flamethrower in the
wild if
mail.
I had a flamethrower.
That's the best home defense weapon you could ever have, Lucas. Your apartment would never be safer. Just a
Somebody
flame.
walked in and you just I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm
Flamethrower.
gonna I'm gonna pass on this house actually.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like you'd walk past your house and just see you at like 12, just flame throwing the
The front
couch.
yard. You just
The couch in the front yard. Just no, man. That would be that's some video game type stuff. That'd be crazy.
Might rage in some Valorant, start flamethrowing things.
Just
damn it,
flamethrower
just
the
flamethrow your
keyboard.
computer. You're like, now I need a new one.
The setup is just torched, just torch the setup. I don't know if the landlord would be too happy if you flamethrowing your apartment though.
Might be a little upset.
Like just a little bit, just a little
Might be
bit.
some damages in there that I gotta pay for.
Yeah, man. So I mean, we like we said, crazy year this year for you. Had some really really good matches. Had some highs, had some lows this year.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about this season compared to your other seasons.
Trying to think. I I really do believe in something is like waking up on the right side of the bed, right? So I think the past 2 years, I think I've wrestled really well, but I think my like mental space was better than it was this past year. It's very much like how mentally prepared you are for that national tournament. Big Tens, it's really, you wake up and you're like, I feel great today. Or you wake up and you're like, not feeling 100%, 75%, but I'm here, so I got to go out there and, scrap it up. Last year at Nationals, my mental space was dog water. It was so bad. But I think it's just something where like it's something you can work on, but you have to, be able to address it and be like, oh, this is my problem.
Yeah, so that's going to be probably a big focus for you this off
Yeah.
season is trying to get that mental space right. I know a lot of guys visualize, they sit there, they visualize themselves in the positions, the hardest
Yeah.
positions they have to be in.
Yeah. And
So
I
you're going to
think,
work on your mental.
yeah. And like a lot of my matches, well, I wrestled a lot of matches this year. I think I had like 36. Uh, but like most of my matches I lost were by like 1 or 2 points or in overtime. So it's
Mhm.
like, it's where am I missing my either winning in overtime or getting that takedown and not having to be in overtime.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Like obviously you're still a high caliber guy. You're still somebody that, and I don't think a lot of people really get, like I'm sure like as fan standpoint, they're like, oh, like, Lucas isn't doing that well. Lucas isn't performing this year. But I think a lot of people don't really get is you wrestle a Big Ten schedule. You wrestle some of the toughest guys
It's
in the country week to week to week. And
it's
I
a
know
spec.
Trent Hilger was just on a different podcast and he talked about it a little bit. He opened the season with his first four matches back to back to back weekends where it was Kirklevitt, Paris, Cassiope, and then Lucas Davidson. All four of those guys were top eight on at nationals.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
like, nobody gets that. Like that these are
it's a cycle.
college kids wrestling against these guys that are ranked number one in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Week after week, you're wrestling a top 10 opponent. And you, I mean, you're, like I said, a Big Ten guy. Immediately, any first name that comes to mind is Roman Bravo Young.
Yeah.
So that's somebody you have to see. You're gonna see RBY. It's not really an option for you.
Well, I never wrestled him.
Really?
Never wrestled him.
You didn't wrestle him? Did you had a duel this year with them or no?
Mm-mm.
No?
I
You didn't
never
see him at
wrestled
Big
him.
Tens?
Didn't make the finals.
Holy. Well, I didn't kind of forgot what side of the bracket you were on.
No,
So I
you're
didn't know
good.
if you were gonna meet him.
No, I didn't. I
Uh
didn't meet him.
never
Not
wrestled him
once.
before. How
Mm-mm.
do you think
So
that
that's a
match would
match you
go?
want. That's a match you want.
Yeah,
I
I
know
think
it.
I actually have a really good style for. I think Roman's a great wrestler, like, but I think I have a really good style that matches him. I think I have like I also thought I had a really good style against Fix. It's Matt.
But
It's
I mean,
all
you can't really like your match against Fix was good though. Like
yeah.
you
Like
wrestled really well.
a lot of college wrestling though is matchups.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like how like your style competes with that guy's style, because a lot of that stuff is like Roman and Vito were like very good at counterattacks, right? So it was something where like there was a lot of offense, but it was like kind of offense where you're like you commit, but you're also kind of like subtly you're like, ooh, like I gotta be ready for like a reattack or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you commit to that shot, but you're also thinking about pulling back if you need to when
Yeah,
they
you're
have
like
their
wins
offense.
wins the
The funk.
the pullback point, the
Hmm.
funk,
Mm-hmm.
even that, yeah,
Yeah, definitely style matchups. I mean, Ramos, Spencer Lee, that's a
yeah,
style clash, and you see what style comes out on top on
yeah.
at the
It's
end.
a lot of those matches comes down to styles.
And
Yeah,
I
if you
think it
just
also
think
has to
of
do with
three guys.
I think it also has to do with their Olympic background. I think a lot of times, like if you
Yeah,
get a guy that's really, really savvy, like
yeah,
like yourself or like Ramos, who's got a little bit of Greco and some freestyle
yeah,
background, you that last 30 seconds is dangerous.
yeah.
Like
Because
if
you're
you
just like you're really comfortable with like all or nothing
Mhm.
stuff.
mhm. Like when you're a guy that is confident on hitting his throws and knows that
Yeah,
he could hit his throws with 30 seconds left on the clock, that's plenty of time for
there's
you to
so
come
much time.
back and go ahead and
Yeah,
get a 6 point move. Or if
yeah,
you have to pack them up and get a pin. And I think we saw that. We saw that at this year's nationals that especially, a lot of the younger guys that are, in the Greco team, making cadet world teams and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and they have this huge, versatile upper body background. And I mean, we saw it with Imar too. Imar, he was ready to throw people when he had to as well. It
Yeah.
was, it was something like that that just, whenever you could turn it on, he turned it on. And I think, what was that kind of like? You were in the arena, I'm sure, when Ramos went ahead and did what he did to Spencer Lee.
I
What was
was
that? What was the atmosphere like?
I was wrestling.
You were wrestling.
I was wrestling
Wow.
and and right before my match, my coach looked at me and was like, "You're probably gonna hear the crowd erupt and it's not for you, so just stay focused." And you just hear the crowd just like go crazy. And you're really just like, damn, I wonder what like you're wrestling, you're like, damn, I wonder what happened.
Now,
But
did
no,
you
like
like
you
hear? Did you like
oh
hear it like
I heard
over the
yeah.
intercom,
I didn't hear that, but I heard the crowd just go
and you kind of
crazy.
knew?
And I was like, whoa, I wonder. Well, I wasn't thinking about who was wrestling. So I wasn't like thinking that Ramos and Lee were wrestling. And then I like got done and I saw it. I was like, oh shit. Like
Like Matt Ramos
it
just
was
pinned
all over my
Spencer Lee.
Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
Heavyweight Nation Instagram. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Heavyweight Nation. And fun fact, we were the first people to post the clip of Matt Ramos. We beat Sports Center. We
Sports
beat
Center, yeah.
everybody. We
ESPN
beat
probably,
ESPN. Yeah, we
Barstool.
beat all of them.
Everybody
We
posted. It
beat
was crazy.
everybody.
Yeah.
We were the first people. It got 100,000 views in 10 minutes. It was
A lot of views.
a crazy crazy turn of
Yeah. It
events
was
there.
wild.
Great, it's like congrats to Matt Ramos, but also like we grew up watching Spencer Lee. Like this is a
Yeah.
guy who is successful on all ends, and it was like there was a lot of people that I read like shed a tear when he lost, and I was like, you know what, that's
Yeah.
not crazy. Like it
No.
really isn't. It's really not. It's not like a crazy thing to say because like we grew up watching him, and it's just a crazy situation, with wins 3 state titles, loses the fourth one, wins 3 national titles, loses the fourth one. It's like
Yeah.
kid can't catch a break, and he definitely was hurt. No matter what people say, he looked hurt, and I'm assuming in the next couple of weeks we'll kind of get a statement from him to the public, kind of saying that he was injured, man. But
I think something else too is like with people saying like they shed a tear. I think so many fans like connect with like not personally, but they create this like persona of like, oh, like I really like this guy. Like some like fans are like, if your kid's not in the tournament, like that's your like kid almost. Like you care so much and you want to see them do so well because you've watched them, like you said, from high school all the way to college. Like you just want to see them perform. And
mhm.
when something like that happens, you're just like heartbroken almost like your own kid just lost.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, it's half of it's just the style matches
Yeah.
up
Peak, man.
and
Peak.
everything. And
It's
I mean,
also the
you have
national tournament.
yeah, national tournament, but I'm sure you
Yeah.
have like you like you said, you have your own unique style, and there has to be something to counter that. So, what
Yeah.
style or what person would you say matches up, like gives you the toughest time?
Oh, DeSanto.
Everybody talks about the Sando.
I saw McGee's interview and I saw he said DeSanto. I was like, I don't want to say it, but honest to God, that guy is a phenomenal wrestler. But he just like he doesn't have a stop button. He doesn't have a stop button.
Your neck
Like
hurt after that duel, man. Let me tell you, his like snaps
that
and
was
stuff
rough.
like
Those,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was just kind of like you go out there and you expect it to be hard, and I
Yeah.
knew it was going to be hard. I accepted the fact that it was going to be hard, and like Big Tens at Penn State and Big Tens at Nebraska, it's very much it was just like it's going to be hard. You just have to embrace that it's gonna suck, and I mean that's just how I went into that headspace. But I loved wrestling him. Like
He,
he was so
he's
fun to
also just
wrestle.
slightly unhinged.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Slightly.
like but
for sure.
he was so fun to wrestle though.
Yeah, he really is Iowa. Like I feel like
Yeah,
whenever
like
you think of Iowa, like you think of like old school Gilman. When I don't know if you
yeah.
ever, I'm sure you've seen the clip where he was like, "They're always watching me. You can never turn your back to them." I was like,
And when
that
he was at
is,
Okie State,
yeah.
yeah,
When he was at
the
Okie
flow
State,
interview, yeah,
yep, yeah. That flow interview, like seeing Gilman like that, really reminded me of DeSanto. Like you
yeah,
saw like
Yes.
what DeSanto was doing, and like when DeSanto and Siriano got into it, I was like,
yeah,
this really reminds me of old school Gilman. Like
yeah.
this is
Like you,
this is what I was like.
every time you stepped on the mat, you knew with DeSanto, you knew that it was like it's a dog fight.
He's
Like
going
you're just,
7 minutes, and he's not going to
yes,
stop. He's going to come
it's
at you,
7 minutes of
club
hell.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you just have
That's
to.
kind of yeah, that's part of like that mental too. Like you were
Yeah,
saying
Mentality.
before,
Yeah,
like getting the mental right. Like they've got that down in their
yeah.
head. They believe 100% they're the best in the world and they
He's gonna
will
go.
conquer.
Yep.
yeah. And I think we
Yeah.
we see that every time with Real Woods, even the big
Yeah.
jumps that he's made from
Yeah.
Stanford to Iowa, and you see like Warner and all that, like all those guys, like Marinelli and Kemmer. Like I know, like they're all still sticking around the room. I know DeSanto just got a coaching
Coaching.
position at
Yeah.
Iowa. Like they have that mentality, man. Like it wouldn't surprise me in 10 years if DeSanto, 10 to 15 years, DeSanto is the next Tom Brands. Like it wouldn't, because
Yeah.
he's just
He's so
so
embedded in.
mhm.
Yeah,
his
I get what
his
you mean. He's so
mental
embedded in. Yeah.
his mental is just it's as crazy as you could get. It's Austin DeSanto, man. So I'm not surprised. And like I said, I think if we interviewed every 133 pounder, I
Yeah.
think probably about 85% would either
Would
say
say
him
him.
or RBY.
Yeah. One of the two.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, you know, we talked a lot through your career, talked a lot about stuff like that. We got some questions for you. I'll let Matthew go ahead and hit you with the first one. Just kind of switch it up, get a little bit off topic of wrestling, and kind of let the fans see Lucas Byrd not in a wrestling singlet.
Sounds good.
I know I think we've asked almost everyone this, a little related to wrestling, but what's your favorite wrestling shoe?
Uh, I don't have a pair. I have two of them. OGs, Nike OGs, Inflix. Love those shoes. I had a pair in high school, and then Illinois Colats. I've never owned a pair, and I've always
Mm.
wanted a pair.
What size shoe do you wear?
I got a small foot, 7.5, 8.
Anybody's got a size 8 of the OG Illinois Colat, you hit Lucas Bird up in his Instagram DMs,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
have.
sure Lucas will fork over some money for a pair of
I've
Illinois
always wanted a
Colats.
pair of those shoes.
You
Nice,
definitely,
Always.
nice.
definitely.
Like,
So
what are you doing in your free time? You're done with wrestling. Let's say you got a month. What are you doing? What is going on?
I play a lot of video games. I know we talked a little bit earlier. I play a lot of video games, but I I hang out with my girlfriend a lot. We try to
shout out Ellie,
shout out
shout out
Ellie,
Ellie, shout out
the
Ellie.
TikTok Ellie and
Yes, go.
Lucas.
Yes, go. I'm telling you right now.
Go blow it up.
We'll have a pause quick. Me and Matthew, two 20 in their 20s, the single men. We went out and watched these TikToks for no joke, almost an hour. Some of the funniest stuff you could see Lucas Bird do some crazy TikTok dances.
Yeah,
Lucas
they're
gets into
rough.
it. Lucas gets
Yeah,
into it, man.
they
We
shout
will
out
we'll link it in the description below when we post this video.
shout out
Ellie
to
and
her. She
Lucas, man. Shout out
comes
to
up with
her.
all the
Yeah.
ideas. It was ironic. So before we started dating, this is off topic, but before we started dating, she had told her old roommate she was like she always wanted to be TikTok famous, and it was like right as COVID was starting to hit, TikTok was like starting to be a thing. She's like, I want to be TikTok famous. I want to be TikTok famous, and I brought it up the other day, or I brought it up a while. We've brought it up multiple times, but I was like, thinking, I was like, do we feel TikTok famous? Like, we'll have people sometimes, like, we'll be at restaurants
No,
and they'll
no,
be
no.
like, are you
You
that
should feel
couple on
TikTok
TikTok?
famous.
Like,
You
so,
should,
like,
man. Like your videos go crazy. Like
it's
19 million views, 25 million views. Like you guys are popping on TikTok. And
like, it's
to
really
anybody who
fun, though.
hasn't seen Lucas and his girlfriend, number one, two awesome people. She seems like she's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Lucas is a
Yeah.
great dude, but Lucas, as anybody knows, is a little bit of a smaller stature of gentleman, and Ellie is an ex-college volleyball player, stands about 6'2".
Yeah.
Luke,
She's,
it's just such a fun like aspect of having you guys like be basically polar opposites, but your relationship is awesome to see. It really
I,
is.
I think that's something that kind of I think we've done, like, we've broken in ways like the stereotypical, like, the boyfriend has to be taller than the girlfriend. Like, I think, because we've had people come up to us and be like, oh, like, my guy friend I'm talking to is shorter than me, and like you helped me like get over that fact, or
Mhm.
oh, like, I'm shorter than this girl I'm talking to, like you helped me get over that fact. Like, it's kind of like we've tried to break the stereotypical thing, but I mean, we really try to have fun with it. It's something we get to do in our free time. So I mean, TikTok, video games, and then kind of just hanging out, doing anything
Chilling,
really.
chilling with the cats.
Chilling with the
Yeah,
cats,
chill with the
man.
cats.
So we are Heavyweight Nation, so naturally we have to ask you some food related questions.
Okay.
So, Like you said, you go to school at University of Illinois. What's some good go to eats around University of Illinois?
So I love Canes. So Canes, because we just got one. Love Canes, so I'm always gonna put Canes at the top of my list. If you want like good decent barbecue, uh, Black Dog, really good. Good authentic. Well, I think it's authentic. Maze. It's Mexican. Tacos and stuff. Lots of food trucks are around here. They're all usually pretty good. Burrito King's really good. And then there's two sushi places. It's Sakanaya, really good sushi. And me and Ellie, you actually have to join a wait list. They only have 8 people at a time. I can't think of what it's called, but it's the meal where they only serve you one dish at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a 12-course meal or whatever. But they fly the sushi in from Japan like Monday, Tuesday. They prep it Wednesday, and then Thursday to Sunday they serve it. And me and Ellie are
Wow.
trying to get seats right now to the sushi place. But I've heard reviews and people like, it's some of the best sushi they've ever had.
So you're how
Yeah, that's
long is this
crazy.
wait list?
It's like you have to like sign up for days. So it kind of just depends on if the days sell out. She's going like April 8th and there's 2 seats available April 7th. And I was like, we should go that day. Or I'm going alone because I want to go really bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a
awesome,
big
man.
sushi guy myself for sure.
Yeah. It's so hard to get it in Illinois too.
Yeah, I'm allergic to
Mm.
seafood, but I'm sure sushi's great. I'm sure.
I'm allergic
You're
to seafood.
missing
I'm
out,
sure it's
man. You're
wonderful.
missing
You are
out.
missing out. Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure I am. I'm sure I am, man. But talking a little bit about that, we asked the same question to Parker, who mentioned his girlfriend. What's the best meal your girlfriend has ever cooked you?
Anything.
Anything? Anything's
Anything.
good.
My girlfriend's from New Orleans.
That
Like so like
Louisiana.
like
it's seasoned properly.
there's no like she'll be like, oh, like give me the salt. I'm like, oh, that's for a tablespoon. She'll be like, that's good. I'm like, how much did you use? I don't know. Enough. Like it
Enough.
is her food is wonderful. It's like she loves cooking. So like some of the best meals I've ever had from her are pasta. She makes wonderful pasta. Uh Steak. She'll make really good steak with like potatoes and asparagus. And then she makes like chicken and like tuna or salmon really good.
Lucky man.
Some of my favorite meals though are uh like jambalaya and crawfish.
Crawfish. That's
Those are
that's a Louisiana mud bugs. That's
it's
a state. That's a
hard.
staple,
They're
man.
so good. It's hard
Yeah.
to like she has such good cooking. Like when I cook, I like cook them like it's not really good. Like
Lucas
she's
is
like
making
no,
some chicken and some
she's like
white
no,
rice and some broccoli, and he's
she's
like,
like it's
"Yeah, all right."
wonderful. And then she'll like cook all this stuff. I'm like, ooh, like that's way better though.
And if anybody has seen Ellie and Lucas's TikTok, she's a big dessert fan. She likes a good dessert. So, Lucas, what's
Loves
your
dessert.
favorite dessert?
I love Overwise. It's an ice cream place. And I usually get the I'm gonna say it wrong. It's an affogato. It's it's just a scoop of ice cream with a shot of espresso. Shout out to coffee. With a
Shout out to
shot of
coffee.
espresso and a like a waffle cone like chip.
Sounds good, man.
Oh, it's so good. But it's like 8 o'clock at night when I get it. So
Mm.
I'm like, oh, I'm decently awake right now.
Yeah, man.
Eight
Yeah,
o'clock at
man.
night, just wired. It's like I love ice cream. Ah.
Yeah, because it's always like I'll be like, we'll eat and we'll be just kind of hanging out. I'm like, so like dessert? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, yes, let's go.
Lucas is excited, man. I'm sure on the off season it's fun too. When like we talked a little bit before the podcast, we know you're not somebody that really cuts a lot of weight. You
Yeah,
kind of walk around at 133, 135 maybe.
yeah,
So you're kind of free reign to eat really. Like, I
yeah,
mean, as long as you eat kind of moderately, I'm sure there's no
yeah,
really strict diet that you follow.
yeah. I try. Yeah, she like she cooks really like healthy foods too. So it's like something that's really helped me like eat healthier because I used to eat like McDonald's and stuff. Like I used to not eat really well, and I would blame like I got hurt my freshman year at nationals. I tore like a small spot in my labrum, and our dietitians had told me that I should start eating healthier. So I wasn't going to McDonald's like I was trying to eat healthy, and I got hurt. So I blamed having to eat healthy on getting me hurt. That's like what I stand by. They'll be like, "How'd you get hurt?" I'm like, "I ate healthy." I was not on the Ocho Cinco diet of eating McDonald's.
That's crazy. I was about to say that.
I was not on that
Joe
diet of
Cinco, a
eating that. So
crazy
I'm
football
like
player, ate McDonald's. What did he say? Every day?
every
Ate
day.
McDonald's? Yeah.
I think so. His funniest thing though is when he was like, "Yeah, I would call the coach 2 in the morning, just be like, I'm open, and then hang up." It's just a wild. I'm like, oh, all right,
Yeah,
like that's
and
kind of cool though.
I know like that's a lot of NFL players. Like, what's
Yeah.
it? Wasn't it? Richard Sherman like was the Skittles guy. Like he like would
Oh
eat
no, Marshawn Lynch was a Skittle guy. He would
Marshawn
eat them
Lynch. Yeah,
during
he would
games.
eat packs of Skittles while sitting on the bench, like on while the like offense or defense was playing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
Have you
holy
seen
man,
DK
like
Metcalf's diet?
yeah.
he's
Dude,
great. He's so big. He's
he
so
like
ripped. He lifts weight. He's got to lift weights so much.
Look, so we need to get you looking like DK Metcalf. Let's get you on his lifting plan and see how
Get on
big
his
we can
lifting
get you.
plan, just throwing weights up.
Yeah. No,
you're a
man, but
heavyweight at heart, definitely.
yeah, man. And you talk the way you speak about food makes,
I
we,
love
we
food.
we invite some people into the club, the heavyweight club, if they
I'm in
can't,
that club.
if they can't do it, we'll definitely make sure you're invited into the heavyweight
I love
club
food.
because I'm sure. I feel like a lot of 125, like 130s, like 133s, they definitely like food, but a lot of the times they
Yeah,
can't eat food. Like it's like, yeah, I
yeah.
love food, but I gotta watch my diet and what I
Or
can
they
eat.
like eat like 2 chicken tenders and they're like, I'm full. I will get to my
Yeah.
full point and just keep eating. It does like
What's
it
the
doesn't
most
matter.
food you've ever consumed in one sitting?
Me and Elliot went to an all-you-can-eat sushi.
How many rolls of sushi did you eat?
I don't remember. It was a while ago, but there's a place. I will message you because there's another all-you-can-eat sushi that just opened up that we're planning to go to. We'll probably go tomorrow actually because she's off. So I will DM you and I will let you know how much sushi we consume.
We will add at the end of a video the screenshot of Lucas's message to me
Yes.
to see how many sushi rolls he had. What's the over under? Let's make a bet right now. What's the over under?
Of
What's the
how many
yeah?
rolls
How
or
many
how many like
rolls?
pieces of
How
sushi I
we can do pieces. Let's do pieces.
No, rolls. Rolls are easier to calculate.
Well, it's usually what 8 pieces a roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But some are like six, some are 10. Like,
I could. I
We'll,
probably
bu-
won't eat. I won't eat breakfast that day.
we'll
Probably.
ballpark it at 8. We'll say 8 is a good middle, like he said, 6 or
I'd say
10.
over under 10 and a half.
10 and a half rolls. You're going
Ten and a
you're going
half
80,
rolls.
84 pieces.
Dude, I put those
Dang.
down.
I'm going 5.5. I'm gonna stay safe with 5.5 rolls.
You're
That's
you're
kind of
taking the
heavy.
under 5.5?
Yeah, under 5.5.
I'll take the over.
Okay. Lucas, what do you think? Are you taking the under or the over 5.5 rolls?
Trying to think.
I'm hammering the under. I think he
I'm
might get to 5 and tap out.
taking the over.
You're taking the over. You
Taking the
think you're
over.
you think
I'm gonna
you're
put some food down just because we made this bet.
oh
That's
come on.
my ego is gonna put this food
We
down.
need
I'm
to
gonna
we
be
need to
like,
see an Elliot Lucas TikTok. Just TikTok the date and be like, the guys at Heavyweight Nation said that Lucas
How many
all right,
rolls can we
how
put
many
down?
rolls can we put down?
how many
Yeah,
rolls
she
can
can put
Lucas
some
put down?
sushi down. She can put some sushi down. She loves
No,
sushi.
we're not counting both of you. This is
Oh
just
no no no
you,
no! I know
Lucas.
I know, but
Let me say, by 5.5,
here
not
hold
happening
on.
if it's both of you guys.
I'll text her right now.
Sounds
Like
good.
we got this, babe. We got to eat a lot of sushi.
Like I
Start
made a
prepping.
bet with the guys at Heavyweight Nation that I would eat over 5.5 sushi rolls.
Start chugging water now to expand your stomach. Get it prepped.
Nah, man, I don't get it. Like those competitive eaters. Lucas, you ever watch the hot dog eating contest?
Yes,
Yes,
so funny to me.
we got to see Lucas Byrd at the hot dog eating
Cause
contest.
the guy what put like
Joey
32
Chestnut.
hot dogs down.
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
He's
many.
I think he's like what won nine of them in a row.
Yes, it's
He,
wild that
he
you
ate
just
like
can.
70 something hot dogs in 10 minutes, 7 hot dogs a minute. Lucas, could you put seven glizzies down in 1 minute?
Oh, there's no chance that I could do that. That's so much
That's a lot of food. Like
with
70
bread
hot
too.
dogs and buns. Matt, like number one, I don't like hot dogs to begin with. I
Me
don't feel
either.
like
Yeah,
hot
I'm not
dogs
like a
are just
huge
like
fan of
a
hot dogs.
like
Not a
they're
hot
not a
dog guy.
crazy food, not a crazy good food. But now we love our food talk here. We get into it a lot of the times with a lot of the guys about food.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
just as I mean, like food is a huge part of wrestling. People don't think it is, but like let me tell you, like food is important to a lot of wrestlers.
Well, I was talking to one of my teammates a couple weeks ago, and they were like, yeah, like the swimmers and like swimmers, like all these other sports, softball, baseball, basketball, like all the other sports were like, oh, like we eat really healthy, like they're eating salads and stuff, and like they're like, oh, like why do you guys eat like so junk foody? And I'm like, you have to remember, like wrestlers for about 6 months don't
Starve
Starve.
themselves.
don't eat junk food.
Starve.
Like
Yeah.
like there's some guys in the country that haven't had McDonald's since from like August to March.
Hmm.
Didn't have a single piece of junk food. And when you can do it, you do it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
No, man, but there's some people that stick to that diet all year round. Like there's
Yeah,
some
that's wild
wrestlers
to me.
that
That
like
Yeah.
since childhood, like have not like cheated on their diet
But
on
I
a
think I
whole
think
week,
people
man.
don't understand is
yeah.
wrestling is not only the hardest sport, to me at least, but we also have to starve.
Yeah, they don't it's the point of like having to starve is where it's like it's like you starve yourself. You're like, yeah.
Like a normal person could barely probably get through like a month or a season of wrestling.
A weight
Like a normal
cut.
Yeah.
person,
The
yeah,
weight cut is
not
Like
without
it
the
I
weight
think it
cut.
would be hard. Yeah, I think it would be hard for a normal person right now to not eat from 12 to 12 to what? I'm trying to think when I wake up. 12 to 9 in the morning. Like I feel like some people wouldn't be able to make it that long. Where like
Hmm.
if I had to right now, I could not eat from now until tomorrow morning.
yeah, but you could
I've
probably do it
I've
for
not
more
eaten
than
for
one
two
day
days.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
Yeah,
2 days.
like you
saying.
could do yeah, and I feel like a normal person though like couldn't do that.
Or
Like they'd
like
be like
just like sip on a Pedialyte like a couple sips a day
Wet your
for
yeah,
like
a
two
lips.
days. Wet your
couple
lips.
sips and you
Yeah.
got dry ass lips and you're like it's like
Yo, shout out
chapstick
Nino
doesn't help.
Bonacorsi. Shout out Nino Bonacorsi. Everybody on Twitter was flaming him about his lips at Nationals. That man
Uh
was sucking weight. He was sucking weight to
yeah, it's
97.
hard.
He's coming on the podcast next week, and there will be no slander about Nino Bonacorsi's lips because that man's a national champ. And so what if his lips were a little crusty? He had to make weight.
Hey man, you know how much chapstick I go through?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially
So
during
much and it
wrestling
doesn't
season.
work.
No, it does because there's no liquid. There's
You can
no
use as much
moisture in your
chapstick as you
body.
want, it doesn't work.
Oh man, it
There is
doesn't.
nothing harder than swishing your mouth out. Like
Like at night, it's like 2 a.m. You're in the bathroom, sucking weight. You're like, stepping on the scale, see if you slept off any weight. You get that glass of a cup full of water in your hand, and you're looking in the mirror like, do I just drink it and say screw
Do I
it?
just
Like, do I
drink
really,
it,
do I just
work
take a
hard
sip?
tomorrow?
Like, do I
Yeah.
just take a sip and just grind tomorrow? Or do I just swish my mouth around, spit it out, and
Go
go
to bed.
back to bed?
Go back to
Yeah.
bed and dream about water.
yeah,
Yeah. Or
every wrestler's had that moment where they're taking one sip of water and then the water bottle's gone.
yeah.
Yep. And just
Take
keeps
it
going.
away.
You're like, ooh.
After
Mhm.
you're like,
Flat.
no.
You're like, no, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, man. We talked to Parker Keckheads, and kid drinks 2 gallons of water a day during the season.
So much
But he's having like 13-pound practices, 12,
water.
13
Yeah, yeah,
pounds
yeah.
because he's so hydrated. I'm like,
I don't
man,
even
that's
think I couldn't
crazy.
even put that. I could barely put a gallon down.
You couldn't buy, I feel like your body couldn't handle 2 gallons of
No.
water. Like that, if like God forbid that gets you up to like 140, you're
I'd be
technically like,
peeing all day. I would
yeah,
never leave the bathroom. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand here all day.
That's
brings the
16
PC,
pounds.
Big.
brings the PC in the bath. Yeah, that's 16 pounds of water.
You guys speaking of gallons? Have you guys ever tried the gallon milk jug challenge?
No, have you?
No, my roommate did.
I tried it in high school. We were on a team camp with my high school went on a team camp and we tried it. And it was a gallon of milk, have to keep it down. You have an hour to do it. You have to keep it down without throwing up. We all threw up.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish a gallon.
Did you get close at least or no?
Yeah, like I was like a quarter of the way because I love milk. So I was like a quarter of
Oh,
the way done and
oh,
just
love milk. That's
come
great. It's a
on.
crazy
Yeah.
statement.
That's
One
what
of my
everybody
one of my
says.
roommates,
There's
Bryce, did it, and he put like pink food coloring in it. Was not a good choice.
Colorful rainbow vomit.
what kind
Mm,
of milk do you drink?
I don't
whole
drink
milk.
milk.
Oh, see,
I drink
I
almond milk.
oh I love whole milk.
Yeah, I'm
Almond
a whole milk
milk.
guy.
My girlfriend Ellie drinks almond milk,
That's what I
and
drink.
she's like
I'm
you like
lactose intolerant, so
she'll be like you like cow milk. I'm like yes.
yeah. The good one to
Yep.
say back to her is like you gotta look at her and be like, you like nut juice? Because there's no milk. There's no
There
milk.
is no milk
There's
in
no
almond.
milk involved in almond milk. It's literally
No.
nut juice.
It's just crushed almonds with
Yeah,
water.
Yeah.
yeah. But we asked this question to everybody. We'll get a little wrap it up here, little wrap it up for the day. we asked this question, like I said, we've asked it 140 odd times now. Take 3 of your Illinois wrestling teammates with you into the zombie apocalypse. Who would they be
Ooh,
and why? And yes, you might get some stares at practice if you don't say some people.
I gotta think about this one.
Go for it, man. Take as much time as you need.
I'll say who first.
Okay.
Matt Robluski.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
Uh, because Matt's awesome. He's like his thing is he's funny, but he like he doesn't like do stupid stuff. Like he'll be like, "Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to open the door? You're being stupid." Like he can be very logical.
So he'll make sure you guys don't get ran up on by a bunch of zombies
Yeah,
because
like he's a
somebody
very
opens a door.
logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very logical thinker. I would take my high school teammate Ronnie Sizemore. He goes to
Okay.
Illinois with us. I would take him because he's also like pretty. He's pretty smart. I would take him, and then I would take. Oh, I'd take. Ooh, that's a hard one actually. It's between Luffman and Justin Cardani.
Ooh. A 25
A
pounder or a
25
heavyweight?
pounder and a heavyweight. I think I would take Justin
Okay.
because he doesn't need as much.
Well,
Like
here's the thing with Luffman though. Like,
Matt wrestled heavyweight, so Matt like would want to eat a lot of food. Ronnie loves food, so he'd eat a lot of food. But then Justin would just be like, "Yeah, my bag of nuts is, my bag of jerky, my little snack share size of jerky is fine." That's who I would take.
it's a good lineup, man. It's a good
Good
lineup.
answer.
Good
And
answer. Good answer. Final
I think
question, Rose will ask you.
finally, say something to the kids, man. Someone who's looking up to you, watching this video, say something.
Uh, I think when you look at wrestling, you should look at it as something that's fun. You should not look at it as a sport. Like you shouldn't look at it as something that you have to do. You shouldn't have to look at it as a sport. You should look at something that you get to wake up, you get the opportunity to wrestle. I know a lot of kids deal with, anxiety before matches. Something that huge takeaway for me, that somebody told me, Jacob Casper, you get the opportunity to wrestle. So embrace the opportunity. There's some people in this world that are never going to get to experience the feeling you feel when you step out there, right? So it's all the nerves are going to be there, but there's some people that are never going to experience that, and it's such a euphoric feeling. And then 2, always have fun. Win, lose, draw, defer, whatever it is, always have fun.
Well said,
Yeah,
man.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people take wrestling, especially in the youth level.
Very
I
for
think you
true.
see
granted.
a lot of youth wrestlers kind of crumble,
Yeah.
just because their parents or their coaches or whoever might be in their life that's pushing them to wrestle, push them a little too far, and then
I
those
think
kids kind of fall out of love with the sport.
once it's not fun anymore, it's not worth doing.
No
You can't
point.
put your body through so much to not being enjoying it.
Yeah, man, I agree 100%. I agree 100%, man.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's been another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. You know, this time with Lucas Byrd, and we'll see you guys later.